Hello, good evening. Welcome you again to another live of mine. I'm trying to be more consistent and share some thoughts, some tips, some reflections on a daily basis. And today I thought of sharing my own experience so far, sharing my struggles, how I managed to deal with it, what's going on. And yes, lockdown, retreat or imprisonment. And this came to my mind, this idea, after I read an article online regarding how some of us are romanticizing lockdown. And when I read that, I thought I could be one of those because I'm trying to be positive. I'm not trying, I'm actually positive. I'm finding joy in my daily life. Encourage others to be positive, to find joy, to practice meditation, yoga. And of course, but I'm also aware that this is going to bring a lot of issues on a personal basis. And of course, already the World Health Organization has mentioned that after the crisis is over, we're going to be facing another crisis, a mental health crisis. So, yes, I am positive, but I'm also real. And of course, I've been facing my own realities in this. So yes, I do stay positive. I'm always sharing things how we can all be positive, but at the same time, yes, I am aware, and maybe I am in a way blessed or lucky that I am aware, because once I am aware, I can deal and release whatever comes up. These fears regarding to family members who can get the corona, especially. I spoke in another video how I dealt with that fear and what came up of it. It actually brought up other fears that were non-existent. But because I'm self-aware, I could work it out. What I'm concerned of, and this is what I want to share more today, that you could be having fears, panic attacks, huge amounts of anxiety, overwhelm, because you might not be aware of what's really going inside of you. And I don't even suggest to go there without the help of someone who is professional, someone who is trained in that particular field. Because otherwise you can traumatize yourself and you're not ready for it, and then it becomes even more challenging. So yes, I'm very much aware of the possibility of that we can be facing a mental health crisis, and we could be actually suffering. And it is, and whatever, whenever I am posting positive and joy and ways how we can help ourselves, it is in no way, because it is in no way to silence and shame others who cannot feel the same way, because I understand we all are in the same, in different phases of our journey. We all are facing different situations, and I can understand, for example, that those who are single moms and are the only carers of their children, or even fathers who are only carers of their children, they're going to find it more difficult to remain positive, because sometimes it can be quite overwhelming, and I've went through that experience that a few days I felt like I'm going to melt down, because I'm having no time where I'm 24 hours with a young child. It could be really overwhelming. So I really understand, and sometimes I do cry and I feel like I cannot go through this anymore. But then I recenter myself, I go back to my practices, meditation, yoga, grounding, exercising, dancing, affirmations, doing things that I enjoy in the garden, especially at the moment. And I am back to my let's say my usual self, where I'm more positive, more joyful, and more focused, I would say, and I'm not so consumed by fear. So it is possible, but we have obviously to watch ourselves and be aware and be gentle and compassionate with ourselves. Some days we're going to have good days, and few days we're going to have not so good days, bad days, where we feel really bad. I can't handle this anymore, and I don't want any of this positivity today. Yes, and it's fine too, because it is really a difficult moment, and we're being called to pull out resources from ourselves that we've never been called to do, because this is a situation that most of us have never experienced unless we are 90-year-old. And most of us are not 90-year-olds. We are in our younger days. So especially also for those who are always used to being busy, and in the world we live to, it's very easy to be busy, and suddenly we're stuck at home, locked down, and not being able to go out, and we don't have enough to do. Having to be instead of doing can actually, unless you're used to it, I'm used to it because I love it and I do practice meditation, and that helps you to go in a state of being rather than wanting to do all the time. It's going to be pretty challenging. And for some, doing is actually a way of keeping certain traumas, certain emotional issues, negativities that we do not want to deal with. So suddenly, by having to be, because we have no choice, we might be triggering some stuff that we don't really want to trigger, and if we're not prepared for it and we don't have the tools to deal with it, it's going actually to hurt us. And this is why, if we don't speak to a professional, mental health issues can later be an issue that we need to face. So if you feel that you need to talk to anyone, do. It is really important that when we feel low, we feel down, we feel we cannot cope, we feel panicked, overwhelmed, don't suffer on your own. Cry, let it out, but share it, even with a family member, and professionals even better, because it's better to seek help now whilst this is coming up, rather to continue to suppress it. This is my feel on it, my take on it. And there are many different type of professionals. See whom you resonate with, whom you can connect, whom you can trust. I'm a coach. I'm also an EFT practitioner. There are psychotherapists. There are psychologists, psychiatrists. But do seek help. It is important. And do not feel ashamed of yourself or feel guilty that you are having these emotions, rather being positive as it's being portrayed out there. Even I encourage you to be positive, but I see the other side of the story. It cannot always be positive, and we are processing heavy emotions. So sometimes we need to seek out for help, and we need to state it, and we need to share it, and we need to express it. So it is okay. It's really, really okay. I know that because I am in it too. So though you see me positive and joyful, it's not always like that. Like last week when there was the full moon, there was huge energies, and that really made me process a lot. So please do not judge any of your emotions, any of your feeling downs, any of your panic and over. Do not judge yourself. Do not think, I'm not like the other person, that they are dealing so well and I cannot. No, we are all going through our own journey. We all have our own story, and we cannot judge ourselves. We just need to be gentle and seek out help. There are thankfully, there are plenty of people out there who are really willing to help and give their heartfelt advice and support. So this is why I came in today, to show you the other side of the story, not just the positivity and the joy. I am actually facing my own challenges that have nothing to do with COVID, so it's in the same period. And I welcome sadness and joy at the same time. So sometimes I feel sad because of all of what's happening in my life, but at the same time, I decide, and this is the choices that I make, I decide to choose joy. I decide to not to choose joy, to find the joy in my everyday life. And this is the gratitude. This is where gratitude comes in, to find the joy in everyday's life. So, I find joy in my daughter, in the garden. I find joy in my meditation. And actually, I do things that give me strength and then help me to find that joy within me. So this is why I'm always going on about, and some of you might think I'm so crazy, why she's always going about meditation, a spiritual practice, healing techniques or healing modalities, because they give us the strength to find joy even when the going gets tough. And I'm not saying that I'm always happy and smiling like you're seeing me now. No, I cry, I melt down, I feel overwhelmed. I can feel overwhelmed, especially since I'm very, very sensitive. So just ask you to be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to feel sad, angry. Of this is, I can really relate to. I felt especially angry when they announced lockdown. Not just the lockdown, it just announced the fact that in order to go shopping, I have to text, in my eyes, for permission. And because that meant to me, oh, they're taking your freedom away. How can they take that away from you? Even to go out shopping, you have to ask for permission. No, I said, this is taking my freedom away. And freedom, because I know, I'm so self-aware, and I know freedom is an important, it's a really high value. I felt that being taken away from me. It's like they've crossed the boundary, and I was angry. And I didn't judge. Why am I so angry? I allowed myself to be angry because I understood why I'm angry. Because someone, in my eyes, in the way I saw it that time, someone is taking away my freedom, and my freedom is sacred to me. Okay, so anger is okay. Allow yourself to understand where that anger is coming from. Anger is not necessarily a negative emotion. Anger can guide you to what's really going on. Someone might have crossed your boundary, and it's okay to feel the anger and process it and express it. Because it's not right for you what the other person did to you, and it affected you. So anger can guide you. So it's okay. Allow yourself to feel angry if you're angry because of something that's happening due to this pandemic. Maybe you're suffering a loss of something, not just that, okay? A loss, for me, it was a loss of freedom, in a way. Maybe a loss of the ability to go out for a walk, or the loss to hug a friend, that freedom of loss of being able to hug a friend. So that can create lots of emotions. The feeling of not coping, I go through it, allow yourself to feel that overwhelm when you feel not well, it's coping, it's okay. And melting down, another one. Okay, so allow yourself to feel everything. But what I suggest is, obviously, if it's not something huge, it's something you can deal with, find ways to ground yourself, take time off, take time out, do some meditation, do some yoga, dance, let it all out, express it in some way or another that's good for you, and try to recenter yourself. Because then you can transform that negativity, let's say it's negativity that you're feeling, and you feel that discomfort that you're feeling, to something more positive. And always say, if you feel you cannot cope and you're in a panic and you're too anxious, do seek out help. Really do seek out help. Do not feel ashamed to seek out help, because we want obviously to walk out of this stronger, not weaker. And obviously, if we do not seek out help when we need to seek out for help, it's going to make us weaker, and we go in a downward circle. and it can be avoided. Okay, it is being said out there that we are going to face a mental health crisis, and I do agree with it, because many of us do have never experienced this before, so they're going to be faced with something new that they never done before. So if you feel ashamed, if you feel low down, anxious, challenged to the maximum, and you don't have your own resources to deal with it, do seek help, because you might need help and support, and it's okay to need support at this time. It's really, really okay. So this is my message to you. We can be positive, yes, definitely. Even though we have challenges, this is from my own life. But yes, also we're going to be challenged, and sometimes we think the challenge is too much for us and we cannot cope, and it makes us anxious, it makes us fearful, makes us scared. And it's okay to allow yourself to feel that. And don't be ashamed to seek help. There are plenty of us who can help you. So this was my message to you today. And I hope that you took out something of it and you see both sides of the story, and you can hopefully relate to it. And I really hope that you can manage your way through this period of unknown. I call it the period of unknown, and whether it's a lockdown, you call it retreat, or it feels like it's a sort of a prison or a vacation, try to find some time for yourself, because that can help you. Also on Friday, I am going to stream a Facebook Live about EFT, how EFT can help us to deal with anxiety, fear during this time. Obviously, things that you can deal on your own, not things that you will need help from others, because EFT can trigger deeper stuff. So we're not working on that, but on releasing general fears and anxieties relating to this time, to the pandemic we are into. And EFT can be used not just for this time, but forever. I've been using it for myself and for clients, and it's really helpful and it's really powerful if it's used in the right way, especially in a professional setting. Thanks for listening. Wishing you all a nice evening, and hope to see you soon on another live. Thank you. Bye-bye.